Teresa. I am the owner and artisan at NTS Design Co. I come live with you guys every Wednesday morning for some painting tutorials. I am a content creator for Dixie Belle Paint Company. All of the paint stuff that we'll be using today, you can find online at the Dixie Belle website. If you go to the left-hand corner and it's going to say find a retailer, you can type in your zip code. It'll pop up every retailer in your area. And if you don't have a local retailer, don't worry, you can still order all of the items that I'll be using today online. We have been working on this little dresser over some time. We painted it in some really pretty colors, and last week or 2 weeks ago we did some really fun little stenciling and then actually kind of hand painted the rest of it, and today we're going to stencil the top of it. I'm going to go through this process with you, and if you guys missed it, you can always go back and re-watch. All right, so the color that we'll be using today is a silk all-in-one paint. It's a really beautiful color. It is called Arcadia. It is a very beautiful, deep, like foresty green. It's very rich, it's very pretty. One of my favorite greens. Green's my favorite color, so I love all things in the green family. And then we will be using the Best Dang brush. This brush is amazing. I'll be putting a little paint on here and just kind of dabbling it down and working with that. We will be using, the name of this stencil makes me giggle. It is by far one of my favorites. It is called Leave Me Alone, and it is hilarious, but it is very pretty, and it's going to give us just the amount of character that I need on the top of this piece of furniture. I may decide to go along the sides of it, but I think I might not do that just because I don't want it to be too much. This is going in a teenage girl's room, so it's busier than most furniture that I would do, but it's really fun, and so this is where we're at with it today. So let's go ahead and get started. As you guys are popping on, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. Any paint related questions I would be happy to answer. Again, we will be using all Dixie Belle Paint products today, and you can find all of the products that I am using today on their website. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and put some gloves on just because, well, I may not need to. We'll decide. I don't wanna mess up my nails. I'm like, I don't wanna mess up my nails, I'm such a girl. And so we're just gonna go from there. Let me go ahead, we're gonna angle you this way. I'm gonna add some paint of this. Again, this is silk all-in-one paint. This has top coat and priming capabilities. I love that stencil too. The name cracks me up. It makes me giggle so much. How are you doing, Mary? Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate you very much. I'm wearing white shoes and I almost dropped green paint all over me. You would think that I would learn not to wear good clothes in here. That was a very close call. I'm gonna go ahead, obviously, because I'm a messy messerton, and open up some of our bag of rags and put a rag or two on my lap and have a couple of them just in case, because that's the kind of morning we're having already. But that's fine. I am very messy. That's nothing new. All right. Bag of rags, little t-shirts. They're great to have in the shop. You can cut up your own, but if you're lazy like me and you want ones that are good quality and know that they're perfect for any job. No job too big or too small. All right, I'm gonna grab those and put those on my legs. I'm gonna grab one out. And yes, I know I could wear an apron, but I don't want to wear an apron because then I would cover up my cute little scrubby shirt. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Thank you for tuning in, sweet friend. I appreciate you. I'm letting the air out of it like it's food. That's funny. It does not matter if there's air in that bag. All right, let's get started. It's been a few weeks since I've been on here. I had surgery almost, what is it? Tomorrow will be 2 weeks that I've had surgery, so I have not been here. And those that are following along on my story know why it's been kind of crazy. All right, let's go. Arcadia, silk all-in-one, priming and top coat capabilities. Silk paint's amazing. It's one of my favorites. I love it. Now we're just gonna add some, not too terribly much. That should work. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab a dirty rag. Look at this, me actually cleaning my paint jar. Huh, who is this girl? Don't get used to it, paint jar. My other ones are screaming over there at me like, you did that to that one and look at us over here, all dry and crusty. That's what they're saying. All right, that over there. Add this lid. If I need more, we can add more. All right. Put that lid on. Add you to that. Okay, we'll be using our best dang brush to stencil today. This is a very loved brush, as you can see. I like to blend with her. She's one of my favorite for a giant cloudy blend. I haven't done one of those in so long, but I'm grounded from lifting anything for at least another week. I'm allowed to lift, apparently, like whatever a full milk jug is. That's what I was told. So basically nothing. All right, so leave me alone, Stencil. Leave me alone. I love her. She's my favorite. I love the Mylar stencils. I love that they're so big. I love that they're so big for a couple of reasons. A, you can do giant projects like this. Makes me happy. I'm gonna start in the back corner and I'm gonna move you guys in and grab a sip of my coffee. Get you some coffee and drink coffee with me. I love Leave Me Alone because it's just sassy. It's a sassy stencil. Yum. Okay. Let's move you guys back. Whee! All right. Now, you could use stencil adhesive if you would like to. I am not. You also could make sure this is crisp and perfect. I am not. I just want to like dabble it on here and there. Maybe a little swirl action, which is why I'm using this big brush, because I don't want it to be perfect, because I just don't want to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my little brush, I'm gonna dab my corner in. This is why I opted to use a paper plate so I can offload. My nose itches. Kind of go from there. Now I'm gonna start at this corner, and again, no rhyme or reason. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I'll make sure I don't have too much on there. And I'm gonna just start. And this is what we're doing today. Easy breezy. I feel like I should say CoverGirl after that. Elegant and sassy. Yes, I agree, Mary. I agree. She's a sassy little stencil. Oh, I moved her a little bit. If I feel like it's drying out some, I can use a little water. I did not spray this brush ahead of time. I just went in dry. Just reloading my brush a little bit. What is your favorite stencil, you guys? Do you have a favorite Dixie Belle stencil? I'd love to know. I've used this one a bunch. I really do like this one too. This one's gonna be really fun to stage. Many ways that you can stencil. You can use a big brush like this and just kind of pounce it along. You can use the foam and dandies, they're great. You can use the thingamajig if you're smearing on texture, like if you're gonna be using the sea foam. You can use a regular paintbrush if you'd like. The possibilities are pretty endless when it comes to stenciling. Again, I chose this big one because this is a big stencil and I wanted to make sure that it was gonna cover a lot of area at once because I'm going over the whole entire piece. The Victorian Damask, that's one of my favorites too. That is on my staging wall. I also like the bone inlay. Yes, that's beautiful. Yes, 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 yes. I will tell you, the Victorian Damask one is my favorite too. It's just super classy. I want to do my living room wall in that. So basically, I want to replicate my staging wall in my living room. I live in a very modern craftsman farmhousey vibe house, which is not my vibe, but I love my home, but I'm trying to add some character and age to it. So I painted my doors black, and I'm trying to add some color to it. So I don't want to overwhelm the color because I just don't want it to be too much. So I paint all my furniture really fun, just to kind of accent it, because those are things I can change out as, you know, time goes and I change what I like and things like that. So I try to do things in my house that are pretty timeless, but really deep down inside, I want to live in a Gothic mansion, like an old Victorian home. That would be amazing, because I'm not so much a Hobby Lobby farmhousey kind of girl. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's just not my vibe. All right. So I shifted this just a little bit, so we're going to move her back. This is where you could tape your stencils down if you'd like. I clearly didn't. I'm just going to kind of offload. It's kind of noisy. You could swirl it. I'd rather just tap it. Gothic you are for sure. Yes, yes. And it's Halloween, and y'all know, and if you don't know, that is my absolute favorite holiday. I haven't, Patty, if you can believe this or not, I have not decorated my house yet. I haven't, and it's driving me insane. I will be doing that soon. I haven't been able to lift anything, so I haven't been able to do that. Usually September 1st, my Halloween decorations go out and they stay up until Christmas. But I will be doing that probably this weekend. Probably this weekend. I really want to get like an army of 12-foot skeletons. They're so cool. My neighbor down the street, she's got 2 of them. And I love them so much. She dresses them up for other seasons, so she leaves them up. So she like will put like Easter bunny ears on them and like a 4th of July hat. And I vibe with that so well. I think that's amazing. I would dress them up in like clothes. I've seen the guy where he made this giant cup of Starbucks and like he put them in his Jeep. That's my favorite thing ever. I don't have a Jeep, but that would be really fun. Ooh, it moved again. All right, well, it's okay. We'll just do this one like this. All right, whee. Okay. How fun. Do you see how beautiful that is? Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And so I like that it's kind of worn on some. I think I'm gonna make it worn a little bit more, just in some areas. Let's come. And it's dry, like not dry, but it's dry enough to where I can line her up maybe. You're supposed to be able to carry the stencil on. Yes, you can. So it's a repeating pattern. For those that are repeating pattern kind of people, all right, this is where I'm gonna put my leg here. This part's gonna be trickier because it won't be flat. So this part's not gonna be perfect, so I'm just gonna hammer out the bottom part first. All right, for those that like perfect stencils, look away. Just look away. Nothing perfect going on here. All the fun though. All the fun. All right. It's actually kind of getting kind of hot in here. Might have to turn my AC on here in a minute. that break line is gonna drive me insane. We're gonna fix that real quick. I'm gonna show you how to do that. I'm gonna lay my stencil over here, lay my brush there, and grab an artisan brush. Give me 1 second. We're gonna fix that line. I don't need it perfect, but I don't need it like that either. It'll drive me crazy. Okay, so let's go ahead and fix this really quick. Dixie Belle sells the most amazing artist brushes. I love them. Would be pretty on white. Yes, love the stencil. Oh yay, you're gonna use this stencil today? That's so fun. I'd love to see your work. All right. I'm gonna turn my AC on. Hold on 1 second. I'm about to sweat to death. Come on. Sorry guys, didn't mean to kick you. All right, I turned my AC on. We here in the South are experiencing what I like to call pretend fall, fake fall. It is fall, but it is 80 degrees outside, not fall. All right, and we're just gonna take our little brush. We're gonna dib-a-dab in there. And we're just fixing her. It doesn't take much. You just gotta add a little bit just to break that line up. Maybe carry your paint a little higher and a little lower just so it doesn't look like you just added paint in those areas. Kind of dab it off to make sure. I'm going to take a sanding sponge when I'm done with this and just kind of rough her up a little bit. Remember, if you were like, oh my God, I was trying to get a perfect stencil and this happened, you can fix everything. I don't strive for perfect anything, so it doesn't bother me at all. Oh, on a wall. Yes, this would be pretty on a wall. This would be really pretty. Like in a sunroom or something where you have all your plants. It'd be really fun. Again, I'm just going up and down just so it's blended nicely and doesn't look like I just smashed some paint in one area. I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm just going to follow these little lines. And thank you. It just takes a few minutes just to kind of correct some things, just to make sure they're so pretty. Just blur that line out. And you'll never know it was there. Never know. All right, we'll come down this side a little bit more. Up a little higher. All right, so here we are, fixed. These are the ones that aren't. I don't go for perfection either. I'd be disappointed all the time. For real. I think that's the problem with half of society today. Y'all striving for perfection for no reason at all. In a very imperfect world. Very, very imperfect world. I don't expect perfection with people or anything else. You cannot put expectations on other things, and then that's how you get upset a lot, because you set yourself up for failure that way. So just go with the flow. Go with the flow. Life is so unpredictable. So, so, so unpredictable. It'd be so boring if we knew what was in store for us all the time. This one I'm doing a little heavier. And then offload some of that paint. And just like that. It's also forgiving. Just like that. What you guys think? It's like it was always meant to be there. Ta-da! Perfection in painting was my downfall. Once I let it go, it became more creative. 100% I agree with that. Not with you, but just that statement in general. You are very creative and very talented. All right, now I'm too much of a hot mess to ever expect anything to be perfect. So everything over here is just by the seat of my pants. Let's go. All right. Now, I will not be continuing the pattern over here, I don't think. As I think I'd have to flip this. I guess I could. I'm like, I don't want to. We're gonna overlap a little bit and we're just gonna go with it. That's what I'm doing. All right. I am gonna miss this brush just a little bit because it was a little dry. Not anything crazy, just a tiny little mist. We're gonna dab that in some paint. Put this over here because I'll be using that again in a second, I'm sure. Okay. Here we go, guys. Choosing which ones to do and which ones not to do. Since I'm not doing a repetitive pattern, I'm not going to use these little teeny tiny pieces over here. That'd probably be a lot smarter. No, I don't do that. I just do this. I do that on transfers. I don't really care about stencils that much. Like, yeah, I guess it would be easier and probably smarter. But whenever I'm doing a stencil, I don't ever care if it's perfect. And any of my clients that use me know that I'm not going to paint anything perfect. No one's going to come to me and be like, I want this, blah, 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 blah. They're usually just give me a piece of furniture and they're like, we like what you do this. Unless it's a painted finish that's like all in one, which as we all know, money gets tight sometimes and we have to paint stuff we don't want to. So in that case, yes, I'll do something more prettier, not prettier, but like cautious. Like if I'm painting a piece of furniture white or something. Or like the pieces that I just finished that were that black one, that all I did was just paint it black. There was like no creativeness in that, it's just painted. There we go. So now I'll match my edges up a little bit. I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna lay it up against something so it can, I don't wanna lay it on the floor. Where can I put you? I don't know where to put you. All right, let me put this on something else, hold on. All right. But yes, that would make a lot of sense. I probably should do that. It would save me from having to come back and do this part. But I feel like this is easier for me just to go back over it real quick and paint it than it is to be like obsessively making sure that it's perfectly lined up. If that makes sense. Maybe just in my brain that makes sense. Because like I can just come in here. And fix it. And I actually like this part. I'm never gonna custom hand paint an entire piece of furniture like this, but I don't mind doing like little things like this. It's kind of like an adult coloring book, but with paint. I eat pretzels all the time. All right. See, that's done. You can also take your finger and rub on it if you want to. Mine's not that serious. We're just gonna, I'm gonna pull you guys in a little more. So you can see that a little better, yes. So now we're just gonna take our little brush. I do this with decoupage paper too if I'm continuing my decoupage paper over. Like I don't want to paint an entire picture, but I don't mind adding to it or like, you know, zhuzhing it up a little. That doesn't bother me. Kind of make that look like the rest of the stencil. That, and then we'll just add a little tip right here, and we'll just add that little branch. We're just making our own little trees. Not so bad. See? I think that came out pretty good. All right, that was pretty good. Now we just have the little bottom corner left. Awesome. Every time I try using stencils, they leak through the edges. That's why I use such little paint. I use very little paint. I'd rather it look like this and me have to go back and fix it than have to like clean up stuff. You can use a spray adhesive underneath it that'll give it like a tighter seal. That might help if you're that worried about it, or just don't be worried about it. All right. Now I'm gonna come on over here and we're gonna use this corner. But yes, if you're worried about it being a tight seal, you can use some spray adhesive, like Stencil adhesive, spray it and like let it wave it for like 10 to 15 seconds and then lay it down, and it'll get tacky. And then you can tape the edges and just go over it with a stencil brush really lightly. You wanna offload like I've done, and that should help a lot. But less is more when you're doing that, and that'll help with that situation a lot. All right, let me grab my stencil because it should be dry. Let me move you guys this way. Sorry. I'm gonna move you over here. Now I'm gonna do this last little corner and try to match up something. See, this is the other problem I have because I don't remember where I was when I was doing this. I'm pretty sure that it's this one. Definitely not this one. Maybe it's this side. This is where I'm like, this is why I don't like using these kinds. Because my brain doesn't want to do it. My brain's like, we don't care. We're just going to make our own. And that's what we're doing. We're making our own. All right. We're going to hold it and just do our own thing. Well, hello, hello. Yes, if you have any other questions, feel free. Feel free to ask. You can also go on here. There's tons of stencil tutorials that are way probably more involved than this one. That will give you a cleaner look, if that's what you're looking for. Brush is drying out a little bit. Now that I turned the AC on, the air is blowing on it. That brush is amazing. I love this brush. I blend with it. I have one that's for wax. This one's for, well, this one I use for everything, but one just for like stencils. Because I used to hate stenciling. Like I would stencil everything, but I would be like, I love the look of it. I just hated doing it. Like the process drove me insane because the stencil brushes are so tiny. I'm like, give me something to make this go faster. Because stenciling is so much, not so fun. With this thing, I'm like, stencil all the things. It makes it go by so much faster and so much easier. I'm gonna have to fix that line, so we're just gonna leave her alone. All right, let me hold tight over here. All right, ta-da. And if you're gonna ask me how I clean my stencils, I don't. When they get really gross, I throw them away. That's how I clean them. All right, now we're just gonna clean up these little lines right here. Look, I did good, you guys. Are you seeing that? I need a close up on that. I lined that up almost perfect. There is hope for me. Oh, you definitely should give it another go. I'm just gonna mist this brush because it sat out for a little bit. Okay, and then I'm just gonna flick, just like that. That's why I love water-based stuff. Just like that. Okay, we're just gonna add a little zhuzh. We're just darkening where those seams are because it's darker where the paint overlapped, or the stencil overlapped, excuse me. Thank you, Patty. Yeah, my friend's daughter should really love this. If anything else, I know my friend will love this. She's been super excited about redoing her teen's bedroom from what it was before to more of a grown-up vibe. She didn't like the top before. She said it was too plain, which is fine. I definitely don't mind. I'm all for change. And this is just a cheap little piece of like IKEA or Target furniture that she got off of like Facebook Marketplace. It wasn't even anything fancy. So this is a great way to make cheap furniture look nice. Or if you have a piece of furniture in your house that you want to redo, but you don't want to buy new furniture, this is great to do that as well. I'm all about an upcycle. Everything in my house that's furniture has been upcycled because it's my vibe, what I like to do. All right. Just tightening up a few little lines here and there where I see fit. Thank you, thank you. And again, we're just blending it out just to clean her up a little bit. Thickening some lines here and there. I'll come back and clean that up with a Q-tip and some paint. Maybe not, maybe I'll just leave her. Let's fix this. Don't worry about it being perfect, because it's not gonna be. If that's what's holding you back from doing fun projects, by all means, go do the fun stuff. And you just kind of make it your own. Ta-da! All right, anywhere else we think we need to clean up a little bit? I like that some of them are darker than other ones. What do we think, guys? I think she's good. I think she's good. All right, I'm gonna pull back and you guys can see what we've done so far. But I'm gonna leave her as is. All right, let's turn her around, okay? All right, so this was our last live. We hand painted some little stencils. Well, we put the stencils on, but then we did the little watercolor effects there and there. And I'll put hardware back. And then there's the top. I think it's super cute. Oh, Oh my gosh, you definitely go. Find your first victim and share it with us. I'd love to see. All right, you guys. Well, here she is. Next week, we'll be doing another fun project. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. I love you guys so much. Dixie Belle, thank you for having me. And if you guys don't already, I'd be honored if you followed me on all social media platforms at NTS Design Co. Bye, guys. Have a great day.